Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGig webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Next Generation Data Warehouses. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Gautam Gupta, Practice Manager at Yesh Technologies Private Limited. Mr. Gautam is a professional facilitator and business intelligence advisor in industry for more than 20 years. He is associated with Yesh Technologies since 8 years now. He is an active participant in the industry initiative, provides consultation to global market authorities on data analysis and management. He is a recognized expert in data strategy, governance, quality and standards. He has been providing operational, technical, and strategy roadmaps for architecting solutions by leveraging the enterprise business intelligence tools and technologies. Mr. Gautam has extensive experience in data integration, modeling, reporting, and advanced analytics, and knowledge on domains like manufacturing, BFSI, retails, and among others. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Gautam.
Thank you, Moni, and welcome all. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Okay. So again, I would like to welcome you all on today's webinar. Today's topic of discussion is next generation data warehouses. So without further delay, I would like to start on this particular topic. So, okay. So here is about me. I think Mohani has given enough introduction, so I'll just skip that. So in today's discussion, what we are going to talk about is what is a data warehouse, and we all know what is a data warehouse. We have been working on it for so many years, and now we are seeing an extensive change in the landscape and the view of the way data warehouses have been working. So we are also going to discuss about the evolving state of data warehouses, and also what are the business drivers for next generation data warehouses, and also look at some of the architectures which are currently prevailing. And let's talk about big data as well. So without further delay, let's talk about data warehouses. So what is a data warehouse? So we all know what it is, a data warehouse. A data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-varying, non-volatile connection of data in support of management decision-making process. Haven't we read this, learned it, by-hearted it so many times? So what exactly does it mean? So a warehouse is typically a centralized store for storing information in a standard format. It also integrates with different sources for information. It relates information and provides structure to reuse the information in different ways. So it provides infrastructure for policy-based access to data, and also a summarized data which can be used in different dimensions for easy creation of dashboards and metrics and various comparisons, etc. So, and also, it gives you a historical view of the data as well. So you can do trend analytics, any kind of time series analysis. All this capability it provides. It's a very traditional way of doing what-if analysis and stuff. But how far you can go with that? So you are still relying on data which is historically stored, and very rarely you can do things which is beyond the box that data warehouse provides. So what are the various data warehouse platforms? So a typical data warehouse platform consists of one or more hardware server, an operating system, database management system, and a data storage. These all communicate within a LAN or a WAN, and through multiple nodes, to access the data in various shape and form, and help businesses to do better decision making. So how we have seen historically how data has been evolving, gone are the days when data used to be captured in silos. We used to have client-server-based environment, a desktop. Basically, we used to run different tools to capture data and then use different mechanisms to get the data out of those warehouses. So over last couple of decades, we have seen how data has been shifting from analog to digital form, and with that, with the businesses which are growing and automating their business processes with using some tools and software, and as they depend more on BI and data warehousing, they generate more and more data, and they need processing for BI and just to run their business. Likewise, there are growths in user communities, reports analysis, and so on, and with the enterprise data warehouse at the heart of BI, and with more and more at the heart of operational excellence, where warehouse scalability has become a critical success factor across the board. So whether you use it for any kind of business, irrespective of what domain you are in, you definitely need a warehouse to do any kind of decision making these days. And so has the computing capacity. With the cost of hard drives and the cost of memory going down, it's very easy to store data across various domains, across businesses, into your warehouse. So how has data been evolving? And as I said earlier, earlier the data was residing in silos and various application forms with client-server-based environment. So primarily companies were running their business applications, any like ERP applications or any CRM applications. So the data was very siloed, and with the advent of web technologies, data started percolating into different domains and different geographies. Started using network. We started doing a lot more with the data, and obviously the size of the data started growing from megabytes to gigabytes to terabytes, and now we are talking of petabytes and stuff. So there has been a substantial increase not only in the size of the data, but also in the way the data has been processed. So with the advent of big data, now we are looking at mixing and matching different shapes and sizes of data with our structured data. So what are the ways our platform are changing? What are the various things that are happening in the industry? With the emergence of new categories of data warehouse platforms, such as data warehouse appliances and software appliances, a new interest in columnar databases has led to several new vendors and products than the older ones. Open source Linux is now a common data warehousing platform, and open source databases, obviously, with data integration tools and reporting platform that have come out of nowhere. And in hardware, 64-bit computing has enabled larger memory data caches, and more vendors are now offering massive parallel processing architecture. Leading database vendors have added more features and products and to our data warehousing world. As there are also growing practices that demand for supporting these platforms, including real-time integration between the data warehouse platform and operation applications, various types of advanced analytics and reusable interfaces that have exposed through web services or through service-oriented architecture. Furthermore, a number of data warehouse platform and other business intelligence platform are now readily available through software as a service and through cloud computing. So we are seeing basically the changing phase of our data warehouse platform, and there are definitely business drivers for which are demanding for the change. And as we all know, a typical warehouse goes through multiple cycles and before it actually gets matured. So what is the kind of data that we are currently seeing at the moment? There is a big buzz about big data. We are already seeing a boom in the internet usage. The global population of internet users is growing at a healthy rate of about 7%, for approximately about 3 billion people who are using the internet at the moment, so which constitute almost half the world which we are living in. And every minute there are so many different sites, so many different users who are getting added to the community. Each search we do in Google, there are 2 million searches which are going in parallel. And each of these search, basically, imagine the kind of hardware infrastructure that Google is using. It uses anywhere close to about 1,000 different servers to enable one particular search. So that's the kind of data that we are talking about any given minute. So what are the challenges when we talk about data warehouse platforms? Obviously, with the changing shapes and sizes of the data, obviously, with our current data warehouse platforms, they are definitely not going to support the new demands and the new business needs that the organizations are looking at. So the challenges that typically, an organization looks at is primarily inability to support the advanced analytics, real-time and availability of data. Scalability is a major factor. Support to web services and in-memory processing is a constraint. Obviously, so 64-bit memory is not readily available across the board. There are still various applications which are still running on 32-bit applications. Data virtualization is being adopted, but it's not across the board anyway. So there are so many different challenges, and which is creating a need for the change in the way we do business today and the way that our warehouses would be shaped up. So similarly, there are various types of business needs which are on the analytical nature. So earlier we used to do all historical reporting, we used to do all different types of reporting and analytics based on historical data. Now, real-time analytical reporting is required. So analytics of various types helps business to cope up with changes and discover opportunities, obviously. According to one survey, 38% of the organization are practicing advanced analytics today, and 85% say that they will be using advanced analytics in the next 3 years. So that itself shows, the increase and the need for change in the way we store and analyze the data. And the increasing use of advanced analytics is the driving force. Need to understand the constantly changing business environment, as well as to discover opportunities for cost reduction and to new improved sales. So what are the demands for new architecture? Obviously, with the historical way of doing business is not going to work. So real-time and related technologies are the enablers basically for operational excellence. Because of the economic, competitive, and quality issues, many organizations are under pressure to achieve unprecedented levels of organizational excellence. Many are pursuing this goal by embedding data and functionality available from their BI and data warehouses infrastructure into their operational and transactional applications. This enables time-sensitive business practices such as operational BI, or self-service BI, or on-demand dashboards and performance management capabilities, just-in-time inventory and manufacturing, and so on. So there are various types of needs which are basically demanding the way our new warehouse should be shaped in. So what are our candidate architecture? What do we look at? With the advent of big data and in combination with our historical structured data, most data warehouse platforms are custom solutions, as we all know. It has been built by internal IT members or data warehousing teams. Even so, the system integration required of custom solutions are time-consuming distractions. So most of the data warehouse initiatives fail primarily because there is no business vision of what needs to be done and how it needs to be done, which is why some user organizations offload it to consultants or system integrators for enabling their warehouse environments. Still there are other users who turn into pre-integrated hardware, software bundles from vendors, and very few early adopters are using data warehouse appliances, which is now becoming the norm for the industry. So how do we decide when to use what kind of architecture. So it is very, very important to understand the business need, the business requirement, not one size fits all. So there are various architecture design that you can look at, or the various appliances that you can look at that will fulfill the need for your current BI and data warehousing requirements. So typically, a power user or a casual user is more interested in getting reports and dashboards and coming out of their existing data warehouse, data marts and stuff like that. A power user is more interested in doing ad hoc query, doing any kind of dashboarding or analytics, or doing any kind of predictive modeling, those kind of stuff. And nowadays, with so much social media data is available, they would like to mix and match data to see how their business is performing as compared to other competitors and so on. So there are architectural changes that are going to be happening across the industry, across the businesses, and people will have to adapt to those changing needs. So big data happens to be coming in big and fast in terms of providing solutions across industry, across various types of data. So typically Hadoop is one of the leading big data platforms where you can use and store different types of structured and structured data. You can use that data for any kind of analytical processing, or even for your operational and transaction reporting as well. So definitely it is the way going forward. There are no two views about it. So there are big data landscapes which are available, which are provided by all the major technology vendors, whether it is IBMs of the world or SAPs of the world. Cloudera is coming big time into analytical infrastructure, providing big data platform for creating any kind of analytical opportunities. Similarly, software as a service is coming up big and fast, where most of these organizations are looking at creating software as a service or platform as a service for creating these kind of initiatives. With the advent of appliances, there are more than many vendors who are providing software appliances which are bundled with data warehouses. So starting in 2006, a new wave of vendors emerged with database management system purpose built for data warehousing. These DBMS based on relational model like Aster Data Systems or Greenplum or Contigio. These are some of the relational model built data warehouses, and some are columnar built like InfoBright, PowerXL, or Vortice. And most of these DBMS are sold and licensed through standalone, like any other DBMS software, or they are embedded in an appliance, usually with a certified or recommended hardware configuration. For example, SAP HANA is a new piece on the block, and which comes with a pre-bundle configurable data warehouse platform, which you can use for in-memory analytics. And similarly, in context of embedded license model, most of these new DBMS vendors call their products as software appliances. Similarly, bundled data warehouse platforms from multiple vendors, as data warehouse appliances enter the marketplace. Relational data warehouse vendors like IBM or Microsoft or Oracle, Sybase, and HP, they have stepped up their offering of hardware and software bundles that are accessible for whole technology stack and data warehousing. Most of these bundles are not data warehouse appliances per se, but yet they offer many of the advantages of data warehouse appliance. So with the advent of cloud, there are which is the newest and the most innovative platform choices that have come along the years. This is where numerous hardware servers and other resources are pulled in and virtualized so that they can be freely allocated to applications and software platforms as resources are needed. So this is becoming another area of interest for a lot of companies to store their data on the cloud. And not necessarily every type of data that they own has to be stored on the cloud, but definitely there is a way where a lot of their current non-critical data can be stored on the cloud. But this enables software applications to dynamically scale, and as workload increases, you can scale up and scale down depending on the size and the volume of capacity that you need on the cloud. And as the workload of an application decreases, resources are freed up for use by other systems. Furthermore, dynamic allocation and reallocation gives the provider of a cloud fuller utilization of resources and less administrative work, obviously, as compared to traditional data center approaches. So typical data centers, they are going through various challenges by themselves. The size and the volume of data is increasing so far. They are keeping it, they are finding it hard to keep up the pace with the hardware capacity. The energy costs are shooting up so high. So there are various challenges that any data center would have. So advent of cloud is helping out a big way. So what are the kind of applications that you can see on the cloud? For example, analytics. You can do data mining, text mining, or sentimental analytics. Any kind of data mart that you can build on the cloud itself, apart from your transactional databases. Similarly, you can have IaaS infrastructure on the cloud, or you can have collaboration with video, audio, different kind of conferencing capabilities, unified communication with VoIP. So all these infrastructure related, these are sometimes could be critical, could be non-critical. So depending on what your business needs are, you can decide what kind of services that you want to leverage cloud upon. So there are various means and ways that you can leverage. So as I said, not everything goes on the cloud. So you decide, depending on your business need, what is sensitive information, what can be customized, and what can be managed by third-party vendors. So based on that, you can decide your own cloud platform, whether it is a private or a public, and those kind of, or a hybrid cloud. So depending on your needs, you can go from there. So with the spectrum of cloud, obviously you have multiple options. Like I said, you have private and public, and a combination of both. A public cloud is basically available outside through a third-party provider. Public clouds are set for substantial growth, as we are all are seen in various shapes and forms. But within a rather short list of committed organizations are adopting for public cloud. Public clouds are not meant for everyone. So what is meant for everyone? It's a private cloud. Most of our organizations, as we see, are virtualized. So what is that? It's nothing but a private cloud. So a private cloud is set up in-house, usually as a part of your IT infrastructure, and is made available to departments within the enterprise. Private clouds are set up even more growth than the public ones, but still within the minority of organizations basically use them. The preference for a private cloud over a public cloud one for data warehouse applications probably reflects the user concerns in terms of security, in terms of mortality of new public and cloud providers. So still there are challenges where people are not very sure when to use a private cloud versus a public cloud. Obviously, security stands out to be most concerning thing about, and also moving their mission critical data onto the cloud. So how do we bridge those? So as I said, software as a service may refer as an internet-based software application that happens to run on a public cloud, or it may refer to a cloud as a platform service. Nowadays, SaaS and clouds are regularly mentioned in the same sentence. It's pretty much no-brainer. So that's because more and more SaaS offerings are set up to run on the cloud. But keeping in mind that the SaaS is also available via non-cloud infrastructure. So internally, we can also create web services and create different applications which can be hosted onto a private cloud, and that can be used. For BI users, finding the SaaS-based analytical application that meets specific business requirements can be challenging, but SaaS also has appealing benefits such as automatic software updates for SaaS application and easy outsourcing of IT and BI infrastructure can be done using SaaS model. So in summary, the key benefits of the cloud, primarily it enables the dynamic availability of IT application across the infrastructure, and also promotes IT optimization and IT resource management effectively for organization to keep down their costs and have high return of investments. So as a recommendation, when you are planning for your next generation data warehouses, you need to look at several different factors apart from your current existing warehouse that you might have. Recognize the need of the business challenges that you have currently, and understand what is suitable for you and what is not. Be open to low-cost data warehouse platforms. There are a lot of bundled data warehouse applications which are being provided by different vendors. Look at those as well. Be open to alternate DBMS. Also look at cloud. What all applications can be managed on the cloud? What can be done in-house? So not everything can be done on the cloud. So very, very important to sit down, work with your business, think about what challenges that you have currently, where you want to go in terms of your data warehousing strategy, what are your business needs, and then come up with a plan. And it could be a stage-based approach. So with that, I would like to thank you all for joining this webinar today. And if there are any questions, please feel free to write me at gautam@yash.com. Appreciate your time today, and I'd like to take any questions if there are any. So it looks like we have one question. What is mesh data? What it is significance? So when we talk about mesh data, so it is a data which is a combination of both structured and unstructured data. So for example, people typically do their sales analysis based on their historical information. So you have a product and you would like to analyze that product, how the product is being sold in a particular market. It all depends on how much numbers you are generating on a particular region. So let's say now you are also looking at data which is being generated by social media for that particular. What are people talking about for that particular product in the social media? So now you want to analyze that data. So you want to analyze the data which is coming from social media, which is unstructured, and with your structured data, and then you combine both these data to come up with new data initiative or sales initiatives, how to do targeted sales for that particular region. So that is what it's called as the mesh data primarily. Okay, any other questions? I guess that's it. So thank you all for your time and appreciate it. Hope this was a useful session. So if you have any further questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to answer those. Thank you all.